React da mentalidade do Dustin Poirier. Vamos ver aqui o vídeo do Dustin, lembrando que ele já foi campeão interino dos leves, um cara muito diferenciado, que já venceu 2 vezes o Conor McGregor, fez dinheiro pra caramba, e ele é conhecido por ser um dos caras que bate mais forte da categoria. Então bora lá ver aqui sobre como que ele pensa.
What's an unusual talent you have?
I don't know if I have any unusual talents.
Like super flexible?
No.
Oh.
My hips hurt.
What about, can you say the alphabet backwards?
No.
Can you people up?
Yes.
Aqui não traduziu direito, mas parece que ela falou você pode foder qualquer pessoa. Eu acho que ela fala no sentido você pode bater em qualquer pessoa. Aí ele fala assim.
This video is posted 24 hours before Dustin Poirier became the lightweight champion. Dustin is a winner. You don't get 30 wins on your record.
Lembrando que aqui falou campeão dos leves, mas ele foi campeão interino, tá?
By it being set up somehow by somebody. Why do I say that? He is so good, but he still ends up losing. But the more important thing is what he does with as a winner. You don't get 30 wins on your record by it being set up somehow by
seu cartel por ter sido armado. Caramba. Alguém acha que o Khabib ganhou por ter sido armado? Nunca ouvi ninguém falar sobre isso.
Somebody. Why do
Tipo, como que o Khabib ganhou armado? Ele é... Em tese ele é russo. Talvez ninguém quisesse até da organização que ele fosse o campeão, cara. Quem que teria armado pro Khabib ganhar?
I say that? He is so good, but he still ends up losing. But the more important thing is what he does with those losses. He uses them as lessons. And today I want
Só se é alguma gíria que traduziu errado aqui.
to point out how you can go from your failures, turn them into lessons, and end up getting better. With my first example being Dustin after the first Conor McGregor fight. But before that, if you want to be cool like Sajanowski and get a chance to be shouted out in one of these videos, join the Discord, first link in the description. Okay, now back to the video.
Look, don't fight the person. You know, don't in your mental leading up. You know, I'm a thinker, man. I always think and go through the fight in my head over and over again. And a lot of times I would find myself like being angry at him or thinking about him. I'm not fighting him who he is. I'm fighting his style of fighting and what he does in the cage. So you're not fighting, you know, all the talk and all that stuff. You know, it'd be a different show if I could do it again. But you know, I've learned a lot from it, and maybe if he comes up to 55, I can crack him there. So
when this fight happened, everything was about Conor. Conor this, Conor that. Dustin already hates him. He already hates him because he's getting better treatment. Add on top of that, his trash talking, calling him a pea-head, hillbilly.
About nothing. Dustin, a little pea-head. Dustin thinks it's all talk. Dustin thinks it's all talk, but when he wakes up with his nose plastered on the other side of his face, he's gonna know it's not all talk. Don't get me wrong, I like the kid. He's a quiet little hillbilly from the back arse of nowhere. I'm sure he grew up in a circus or a fair. You know, he's a nice little kid. Or, you know, his cousin's probably named Cletus or something. I don't know. He's a nice kid, but his chin is gonna be cracked, and it's gonna be cracked early.
It only adds more fuel to the fire. I mean, Dustin literally.
O McGregor realmente entrava na mente dos caras, né? Olha as coisas que ele falava. Ele ia bem pegava na ferida mesmo.
Literally said it himself.
Never dislike somebody that much.
I'm a nice guy now. What?
But now Dustin understands that he is not fighting.
McGregor é foda, mano. Pô, ele realmente... Cara, esse aqui era o melhor McGregor, mano. Esse aqui era o melhor de todos. O cara tava voando.
I'm a nice guy now. What?
But now Dustin understands that he is not fighting Conor. He's fighting his style. He's not fighting the person. He's not fighting the trash talk. He's not fighting all that. He's fighting his style. And Dustin needed this. He needed this loss, this learning experience to understand that. And now going into fights, he knows it's nothing personal. He is fighting a style and that it's strictly business. Now let's see what he's learned from his first title shot lost versus Khabib.
Just trying to, the growth and confidence from since that fight.
Acho que deve ter dado algum problema de copyright aqui, direito autoral.
You know, I went into that fight confident. I was fighting one of the best in the world. I knew, like I said a while ago, I knew anything could happen in any one of these fights. But the growth is just learning from mistakes, slowing things down. You know, trying to get up on the fence when Khabib had my back and giving up my neck when I still had more rounds to go. You know, maybe losing the round compared to losing the fight. Should I have positioned myself better? You know, just been safe instead of I have to get up right now and put myself in harm's way. Just trying to balance everything, man. It's a juggling act with all these things going on. Not just the techniques, but the mindset and the time to take risks in the fight. I'm just trying to get better, learning, man. I mean,
No, man, I'm a sick person. It makes me want to do better, do more, come back stronger, show them another lesson that I've learned, dust myself off again, show you that I can do it, show myself that I can do it. It motivates me, man. It sucks to get on these streaks and get so close to the mountaintop and then get knocked down again. But I'm familiar with that, man. I promise you I'm going to rise again. I'm going to get my hand raised. I'm going to beat who I have to beat, and I'll be back knocking on that door again. It's just I hate having to dust myself off over and over again, but this is my story, man. This is my past. I don't try to look for an explanation of why this happened. I know I'm one of the best in the world. And when it all does finally come together, it's going to be beautiful, and it's my story, and I understand that. So I'm just going to keep grinding, keep getting better. But at the same time, it is, you know, it's a love-hate relationship. I love this so much that sometimes I hate it. And, you know, it just keeps breaking my heart, but I keep coming back. Like that relationship when you're, you know, like a girlfriend or that something that just keeps breaking your heart and you just keep coming back to it. I can't stop. I will not stop. I know I have greatness in me, man, and I'm going to show the world. I just have to keep grinding.
I mean, I knew he was going to press. I knew I was going to be against the fence a lot. I just felt like I let myself down. You know, I didn't cut any corners preparing for this. I felt like my whole career set me up for this moment, but maybe there were times in there I could have did more. I was just so prepared, and now I got to wake up and look myself in the mirror every morning with this result. And if anything adversity's taught me in the past, is when times are good, be grateful.
This and no, I can take this from it. Sometimes he was just better, point blank. In that Khabib fight, Dustin got Khabib in a really tight guillotine, and it was the closest thing we saw to Khabib being submitted. It was just some errors that Dustin did, technically, and then he learned upon them. Sometimes it's not good to overthink. It's not good to try and constantly think about, oh, I could have done this, or if I just did this, or oh my god, how am I so stupid, I could have just did this. Sometimes just look at the technical mistakes you made, write them down, practice them, and add them to your arsenal. It's as simple as that. Prime example, Khabib used his iconic move, the Dagestani handcuffs. Dustin didn't have an answer to it, so when he was probably rewatching the fight, he wrote it down, practiced it, and in his next fight versus Dan Hooker, he used that move. Now let's see what Dustin took away from the Charles Oliveira loss.
I'm gonna continue to do what I do. Be a father, try to be a beacon of light. Keep running.
Ah, mano, sério mesmo. Galera, eu falei aqui que ia assistir todos os vídeos, mas, cara, não tem como ficar assistindo 13 minutos de um cara que não ganha nada há anos. E, cara, olha as coisas que ele fala. Tipo, que nível de mentalidade é esse? Depois assiste os vídeos do Khabib, os vídeos do John Jones que tem aqui no canal. Vai ter mais alguns vídeos da hora. Eu já vou avisando aqui também que eu não vou reagir ao vídeo do Cory Sandhagen. Esse cara ganhou o quê, mano? Esse cara ganhou o quê pra eu ficar assistindo, entendeu? Não vou assistir esse aqui. Talvez eu vou assistir o do Roundtree Jr., porque tá falando como perder peso, mas nem interessa. O do Poatan eu vou assistir. Do Topuria eu já assisti e reassistiria. Dustin Poirier, provavelmente esse aqui eu vou assistir. O do Conor, eu acho que eu já assisti no passado, é muito bom. A gente vai reassistir. E foi, mano, não dá. Assim, o que eu tenho pra dizer? O cara que ganha tem um motivo pra ele ganhar. E na hora que ele fala, tudo que ele fala vai começando a explodir sua mente. E assim, mano, o que o Dustin falou até agora que foi alguma coisa útil? O que no vídeo do Charles teve alguma coisa de útil? O que do Leon Edwards teve alguma coisa de útil? Entendeu? Porra. Não, vamos pro outro nível. Eu não vou mais reagir a esses vídeos de quem não ganha nada há muito tempo, ou de quem... sei lá. A não ser que mesmo não tendo ganhado, mostre um nível de mentalidade muito alto, mas eu não vou mais continuar reagindo a esses vídeos de forma cega não, tá? Que aqui eu tô realmente assistindo junto com vocês. Esses 4 vídeos aqui eu nunca tinha assistido e eu achei que eles seriam no nível o nível do vídeo do Khabib, do McGregor, do Jones, mas não são, cara. E o aprendizado que eu deixo desse vídeo, que não deu pra aprender nada com ele aqui, é que tem que se modelar pela galera mais top. Não tem como. Deve ter algum motivo pra esse cara nunca ter ganhado, nunca ter sido campeão, enquanto o Khabib foi e outros foram. É duro falar isso daí, é chato falar, mas existem motivos pros resultados, tá bom? Então até o próximo vídeo. O próximo vídeo vamos fazer... Cara, o Saint-Pierre era... Vamos depois assistir o do Poatan. Ou esse daqui do McGregor e do Khabib, tá? Então bora pro próximo vídeo aí. Falou, tchau, tchau.